Actually going to show you a really quick and easy fun fold, which I almost never do, so don't be shocked, a fun fold birthday card that I thought was perfect for fall. I don't know about you, but for whatever reason, I have like tons of family and friends that have birthdays in October and November kind of time frame. So I'm always like scrounging for birthday cards. And so I thought I'd show you a quick and easy one that I made, like I said, that I thought was perfect for fall. So, hey, Karen, thanks for joining. And Robin is here as well. I appreciate y'all hopping in. And I'm sure you can see a little peek over here on the edge. I have some fun new things to show you in just a second as well. But, all right, so this is the card. It is a book fold, I think is what they call it officially. Hey, I know, Karen, can you even believe it? A fun fold card for me. Those never happen. And hey, Rosie and Marilyn and Carol, I'm glad you're joining today. So this is what I believe Mary calls them, a book fold card. So I think that's, yep, and Karen saying, yep, that's it. So hey, Connie, thanks for joining. So it's really easy. It's basically just 2 score lines on your card base instead of 1, and then it opens a little differently. So it's a little smaller on the inside. So like I said, super quick and easy to do. And this is the stamp set that I used. Hey, is it V. Perez? Thanks for joining from California. And I see Pam is here and Sally, so thanks for hopping in. So this is a stamp set. This is one that is in the current mini catalog. And it's a good one because obviously, it's appropriately named throughout the year because this is all sorts of, there's everything from Valentine's Day to birthday to New Year to Easter, happy holidays. So it's kind of just everything, a good stamp set to have for every occasion. We'll just say that. So, hey, thanks for hopping in from Nashville. And hey, Kelly, thanks for joining today as well. So this is it. It's a standalone stamp set. It's kind of towards the back of the mini catalog, but it's definitely a good one, so go find it in there. You will be glad that you have it. I'm, of course, using the birthday sentiment out of it today, but I do love, like I said, that it kind of goes throughout the year. So a couple other things that I used on this card, well, actually only one other thing, is the autumn leaves dies. I use those to die cut these little autumn leaves, appropriately named here on the background of my card. But that's, well, and actually the sentiment I cut with this die as well. So, hey, Sherry, thanks for hopping in from Indiana. So a couple things. World Card Making Day is coming up on Saturday. And I know that I mentioned that I was going to be live on Friday in my last video, but I am not. I'm going live on Saturday. I'll be live twice doing a couple different card making presentations for our Facebook Live event, our team event that we're doing for World Card Making Day. So you won't find me here on YouTube. You will find me over on Facebook. So if you don't follow my blog, now's a good time to hop over and follow. I'll be sharing a link to that page on Thursday or Friday, probably both. Anyway, sharing a link over to that page so you can come and join us, come hang out for the day, do a little card making with us if you would like. Stampin' Up has an event. We are also having an event. Ours goes from about 9 o'clock in the morning until about 9 o'clock in the evening Eastern time. Stampin' Up's event runs from about 4 until 7 in the evening Eastern time. Now again, it depends on your time zone. You have to calculate those out. But our event is going to go before and after their event, and then we're going to have a little break so that you can do both events if you would like. So more details about both events are on my blog, which is stampwithamyk.com. And again, I'll be sharing the link over to the Facebook page so you can come and join us. It'll be a lot of fun. We have some fun giveaways and yeah, just lots of card making and lots of sharing. So I do hope that you'll come join us on Saturday. Again, Stampin' Up has an event and they have a registration open for theirs. Ours, there's no registration for it. You just show up on the event page that we'll all be sharing all over social media starting on Thursday afternoon. You can come join with us. So I see Susan is here and Darlene is here and Jan and Danette. Thanks so much for joining. So I don't know why it's hard to find me either, Darlene. So, but glad you're here. So, yep, and it usually is a really good time, Rosie. I agree. It's an all-day long event. We just have a good time and craft and, post lots of funny little memes, lots of cards, projects to share. So, speaking of being a Stampin' Up demonstrator, Stampin' Up is celebrating their 35th year. Hey, Tara, thanks for joining. With an awesome joining promotion that is going on right now through the end of October. If you are not currently a demonstrator, you can join and you get to pick one of 2 kits. You can either choose to get 35% off the price of your kit, Yes, 30%, 35% off the normal $99 price of the kit, I should say. So you'll pay $64.35 plus tax if that applies in your area. The kit will ship for free. You get to pick $125 worth of Stampin' Up! Merchandise for your kit, and you can pre-order. And I have some pretty little things over here that I'll show you in a second about, speaking of pre-ordering. Once you join, there are also some online exclusive pre-orders that are available right now that you can add to your starter kit if you want to. Or the second option is to get 35% more product in your starter kit. So you'd pay the $99, and instead of getting to pick $125 in merchandise, you get to pick $168.75 in merchandise. Again, you'd pay tax if that applies in your area, and the kit will still ship for free. On top of that, Stampin' Up! Has an onstage at home event for demonstrators in November, and if you join during the month of October, between the 3rd and the 31st, you automatically get registered for the onstage at home event, which is the 11th. So it would cost $77, and you get that for free along with your starter kit. So it is a great time to join if you're not a demonstrator. If you have any questions about any of this, let me know. Once you join, you get to be a part of our little group, which I think is pretty fun. And there's no pressure. We're not a high pressure sales group. We all just love stamping and love sharing. And so that's kind of what we do. You get at least a 20% discount on all your orders. And yeah, just lots of fun, and it's a good time. And you get to join Stampin' Up! Events. And the really best thing, at least I think, probably in every demonstrator's opinion, is the pre-order. We get to order early from the upcoming catalogs and promotions. So there. All right. Hey, Mary Kay and Karen, we do have an awesome group. All right. And speaking of the online exclusives, as I said, there are some new ones that demonstrators are getting to pre-order starting today. We do have a little chocolate thing in our group. I will say that. And I'm staring at a huge pile of chocolate sitting on my table right now. Rosie, thank you. So there are some new products that will be available for customers to order beginning on November 7th, but they're available now for demonstrators to pre-order. Or if you join, you can also add these items as part of your starter kit right now. So again, yay. So there's a new suite of products called Meandering Meadow, and it's got designer series paper, a stamp set bundle, ribbon, embellishments, and then there's a cute little fluffiest friends. These are like the cutest little critters I think I've ever seen. And yes, of course, I did order these, and yes, they are coming, and they'll be on the way here soon. So I'll show you those once I get them as well. And then the final thing to chat about today is the Rustic Christmas Countdown Kit is now available from Stampin' Up! It's out in the online store, in the online exclusive section, as well as in the kits collection. You can find it in either of those places. It is a sweet little Advent countdown with the 25 little envelopes that you can put treats inside. And like I said, it's really cute, $19, and it's available now while supplies last. All right. Let me know if you have any questions about any of that. It's all on my blog, which is stampwithamyk.com. So feel free to hop out, go take a peek at anything, and ask questions if you'd like. So, hey, Joan and Karen, glad you're joining. So speaking of pre-ordering things and getting a little extra early peek, so those of us demonstrators that registered for the Onstage at Home event, starting yesterday, had the option to pre-order a suite that will be in the upcoming January to April 2024, almost said 2023, mini catalog. And it was called the Be Mine, I think it's Be Mine Suite Collection is what it's called. It has the cutest little bee stamp set with some fun sentiments in it. Definitely geared toward Valentine's Day, but also anniversary or just a generally, your sweet kind of card. So it's a cute little stamp set, photopolymer. And then there is the little bee builder punch, which again is about as cute as can be. There's a little wing, little heart, and then your little fat bee. So you can stamp and punch, and yeah, and it's a great little bundle. And yes, I did happen to press the overnight button accidentally yesterday when it became available, Karen. You should know by now. It happens sometimes. I have no control over it. It just sometimes happens. So as part of the suite, they also have the adhesive-backed hearts and flowers. So these are sweet little embellishments. They're kind of that enamel look. I don't know exactly what they're made of, but they're that kind of shiny enamel look to them. So I can see white and I don't even want to guess on the colors. I'll read it on the designer series paper. I know that will tell me. So I know that it will coordinate with the colors in the designer paper. So these are the little embellishments, again, hearts and flowers, and very pretty, very cute, and they're flat, which I love. So they make it easy for mailing. There is some ribbon that is sweet sorbet. So this is, if I can find it's Sweet Sorbet 1/4 inch bordered ribbon. So it's real pretty. I got a white border on it. It's thin and feels like it's going to be easy to tie bows with. It's pretty flexible. So a pretty little ribbon. Again, I like that it's thin. The big thick stuff I have a harder time using. So I do like the thinner. And so yeah, very pretty Sweet Sorbet. Also, as part of that suite, I kind of have stuff everywhere. They have a pack of square pillow boxes, is what they're called, and it says they are food safe. So if you want to put little treats in it, you can definitely do that. 10 of them come in a pack. They come flat, and they're pre-scored. So hopefully you can see the score lines on there. I went ahead and just kind of mushed them around a little bit before I came on live here, so I kind of would know and wouldn't be totally fumbling through this as I was trying to show you what they will look like after they get assembled. But basically you fold in the top, the bottom, the top and the bottom, the sides and the bottom of it. There are little adhesive pieces over here, so you'll just peel off the adhesive, stick it together, and then fold in the top. You know, fill it up with goodies, obviously, and then fold in the top, and it makes like a little square pillow box, and it's pretty thick. I mean, I think you could get definitely a couple of little candy bars or something inside. It would be easy to fit. I don't know. You know, a ring box would also be a good thing to put in there. So size-wise, they're about 1 3/4 inches thick, like this way, about 1 3/4 inches, and then point to point, it's about 4 inches across. So probably closer to 3 inches, maybe 2 3/4 as the center of the box. So anyway, those are cute little pillow boxes, and they are square rather than the normal kind of, I don't know, rectangular that I've seen in the past. And then the final thing that's part of that suite, let me get the stamp set and punch out of the way here too, so I can show you the paper, is the Be Mine 12 by 12 Designer Series paper. And I knew this would tell me what colors are in everything. It is Basic Black, Daffodil Delight, Lemon Lime Twist, Petal Pink, Pool Party, and Sweet Sorbet. So those are the colors that are in the embellishments, in the ribbon, as well as in the Designer Series paper. And I know it's always weird lighting-wise. It's hard to tell exactly what colors everything is. This is white background, got some pretty little flowers on it. Again, all the colors in there. Is that Pool Party that I said? I believe it was. Yep, Pool Party, Lemon Lime Twist, Petal Pink, and Sweet Sorbet are the colors in that one. So flip it over, and it is Petal Pink and Sweet Sorbet striped on the back side. Then we have a whole sheet full of bees, which this has got your Daffodil Delight and Basic Black in the little bees on here, as well as there's Petal Pink on the wings, the flowers, Sweet Sorbet. There's a little bit of Pool Party in here. So definitely a cute pack of paper. And again, these are 12 by 12 sheets of paper. And then the back is just honeycomb. Petal Pink is the main color on this one. Oh, thanks, Rosie. I appreciate that. It is a really cute pack of paper, Karen. So then we've got more of the little bees on this one. So again, more bees and flowers. These are a little bit bigger compared to the other sheet that was here. Hey, Roxanne, thanks for joining. So smaller, bigger bees. That's the main difference on that one. A little bit of color variation as well. Backside has got a bunch of the little flowers that look like the embellishments. Again, Sweet Sorbet in the background of that. And then these are little bees. I love the little bee trails or whatever those are called that are underneath here. So again, all the same colors in it. These are Pool Party, and then you get your little bees, Sweet Sorbet hearts. Backside is just hearts, Petal Pink, and Sweet Sorbet. And then we've got the bigger bees holding little hearts. So this one definitely is kind of Valentine-ish, where the other ones are just more kind of spring. I think you could use those for almost anything. And then backside is sort of a gingham print. There's probably an official name of some sort for this, but this is Daffodil Delight, kind of a plaid-ish, gingham-y kind of feel to it. And then this one is little honeybee jars. This one, it's a really cute piece of paper. So again, got your Daffodil Delight, Petal Pink, Sweet Sorbet, and Basic Black in this one. And then backside is got the little bee trail look, and again, it's all Sweet Sorbet in it. So definitely will make very cute Valentine cards. And again, like I said, I think just general spring things too. So So that's all I have to show you right now. I couldn't pre-order the online exclusives until this morning, so those will be coming a little bit later this week. And I'm sure at some point I'll hop on, probably show this to you next week, Tuesday, so you can get a better look at them and decide whether you want to get them once ordering goes live on the 7th of November. So let me know if you have questions about that. Details and everything else will be on my blog tomorrow, which is stampwithamyk.com. I'll link up directly to the blog post for this project tomorrow, so you'll be able to see all the details then. Okay. So back to the actual reason you guys showed up after all that. Hopefully you enjoyed seeing a little peek at some new stuff that's coming. So I did a fair amount of the work ahead of time for this card. So it should be pretty quick. And there was, I knew I was going to have a bunch to show you, so I wanted to make it a quick card today so I didn't take up your whole afternoon. So I've got a pretty peacock card base, and I scored it at 5.5 inches and again at 6 3/4 inches. You probably can't see that, but the score lines are there, trust me. So one of them is a mountain fold and one is a valley fold. So basically I put the paper down this way, scored it here, flipped it over, and scored it at 6 3/4. So I don't know that you technically need to do that, but that is what I did in order to make it a little bit easier as far as the folding goes. All right, then I've got pieces of designer series paper and cardstock. So this is from the All About Autumn designer series paper. And before you shoot me, it is supposed to be restocked by next week. Well, around next week. It's saying around October 9th. So hopefully it will be back very, very soon. And I'm dying to get my hands on some more of it. I'm down to kind of the scraps of some of my very favorite patterns in it. So I'm hoping that we'll be able to get some more soon. So this piece of designer series paper is cut to about 1 inch by about 4 inches. And then I'm adhering it to a piece of copper clay cardstock, and this is cut to 1 1/8 by about 4 1/8. And I'm just basically gonna center, hopefully, wiggle it around here a little bit. There we go. And stick that together. And then this piece of cardstock is cut to about 4 inches by 4 inches. I should say this piece of designer series paper is about 4 inches by 4 inches. And the cardstock is 4 1/8 by 4 1/8. So this is a square piece. That's, obviously the long rectangle. And you will notice that these were cut from the same piece of designer series paper. I just flipped one over. So add a little bit of Stampin' Seal to the back of this one. There we go. And we will, again, just try to get it centered and kind of straight on here. And I'm not really sure if there's truly an up or a down on this paper, but I feel like with the leaf pointing like this should be up. But you can stick it on however you feel like. All right, so we've got our 2 layers made, so I am just going to go ahead and put a little more adhesive on the back. Come on. Oh, did I break my adhesive? I think I did. All right, we'll just use liquid glue. Ugh, look away, I hate this stuff. All right, liquid glue or Stampin' Seal if you didn't break it like I just did. And we're gonna adhere that over here in the little section between the 5.5 score line and 6 3/4 score line. So you're just centering it. I'll hold it up a little closer to the camera once I get it stuck down here. So you're just basically centering it between the 2 score lines. Hopefully you can see it if I can catch it in the light just right. And then we're going to take this other piece and we're just going to do the same thing. Just put a little, I will say Stampin' Seal if you have it and didn't break it, or liquid glue. You can use this icky stuff, but I usually stick myself to everything with liquid glue, so I try not to use it unless I have no choice. And then we're just going to take that piece and center it over here on the other side. So this is centered between this score line and the edge, and then the top and the bottom. So got that centered over there. And then I'm going to put the lid on this liquid glue before I end up making a mess of that. Next thing that I did is I went ahead and pre-cut some of the leaves with the Autumn Leaves dies. These are just 2 of the, actually there are 2 of these dies in there and 2 of these as well. But I just cut 2 of the maple and 1 of what I'm calling the oak leaf. I think that's what those are. From the oxidized copper 12 by 12 specialty designer series paper that is restocked. So anyway, it's back. It has been for a couple days. So yes, I was very excited to see that return. I know some of you have been waiting forever on it, but it is back finally. And then I've got mini glue dots that we are going to stick these little die cuts to the card front. I'm just going to take one of them and stick the leaf probably right up about there. And then I'm going to take another little glue dot, stick it to the back of the oak leaf, And we're just going to kind of tuck that underneath the maple leaf over here, sort of like that, so they're not stacked exactly on top of each other. And then grab the final one, and we will stick that one kind of right down like that. And then I'm going to grab some linen thread, and I'm just going to tie a little bow. All right. Oop. There we go. Maybe going to tie a little bow. Yeah. Sure, she says. Bows are easy, of course. All right. I should have explained and slowed down. Then I probably would have done it right, or not at all. Okay. So when I make a bow, I usually do loops. So I make 2 loops, cross them over each other, and tuck one inside the other, and then pull it. And so that gives me the ability to be able to move the little loops around and make them as big or as small as I want them to be on the card front. And I think we'll call that good. And I'm just going to grab my snips and chop off. The ends of this are probably way too long, but I'm going to leave them as they are until we get the card assembled, and then I will decide if I want to trim them down or not. Just going to take a glue dot and stick that here right in the middle of the card, and it's going to look kind of yucky when I stick the linen thread over the top of it, but that is fine because we're going to stick our sentiment right over that, so nobody's going to know it's there. All right, next up, I have got another piece of Oh, I'm a huge fan of the wood grains. So as you can see, I'm conserving and only using little pieces at a time. So this is the paper. We're just actually going to stamp the sentiment and heat emboss it on the piece of designer series paper. So again, it's just a scrap. I don't know the exact size of it. It's probably 2-ish inches or so. And then I've got Versamark ink. I'm inking up my sentiment well in that. And we're going to stamp it here on the piece of designer series paper. And then grab the copper embossing powder from the Metallics embossing powders. The embossing powders are sold in 3 packs. So the Metallics has copper, gold, and silver in it. So when you get them, you get all 3 of them. So just sprinkle it over the top and give it a good tap to knock off all the extra. And we've got it's ready for the heat tool. I'm going to close that up before I end up having embossing powder going flying everywhere. So Stampin' Up's heat tool. Just turn it on to heat it up a little bit. There's a level 1 setting for drying, so if you are doing something like watercoloring and want to speed that process up a little bit, you can use the level 1 setting. Or there's a level 2 setting for heat embossing, so it will get a little bit hotter, and that's the setting that I've got it turned on to right now. So just chattering a little bit while I will let the heat tool warm up. And then I'm going to turn it towards the project here. And there you go. You can see it's starting to turn. It gets shiny and smooth, and then you know it's done embossing. You don't want to overheat it because you can burn your embossing powder. And you also want to give it just a second to cool off before you do any die cutting or anything with it, because you can also smear it if you aren't careful with it and it hasn't cooled down yet. So hey, Robin, thanks for joining. All right. Then I'm going to go back to my All About Autumn die, or not All About Autumn, my Autumn Leaves dies, and we're going to grab, this is kind of the longer, narrower of the banner dies, and I love that it fits perfectly around the sentiment. So I'm going to go and do some die cutting, so I'll be off screen for just 1 second while I do that. There we go. Pop this out of here. I love heat embossing too. It's fun. So, all right. Now I'm going to go back to my card base. And you've been here, and I probably said hello. I was going to say, if you may have said hello, and I may have just not been paying attention to, because sometimes that happens. So, all right, so I've got my Stampin' Dimensionals. I do chop my Stampin' Dimensionals in half. If you prefer the whole ones, you can certainly use whole ones. I just prefer the half ones because I like the size of them better than the minis. They're bigger than the minis, but smaller than a full size, obviously. So I like these as they are. Because I want to, it's not my favorite. Oh, you warp the paper? I had pretty good luck with this. Sometimes it depends on the paper a little bit. I know that I embossed on some of the Oh Holy Night paper, and that really warped. But this one, it didn't do too bad. So I think it's because it's a little bit smaller of a piece of paper. And yeah, it could be that you're heating it too long as well. So, but yeah, I don't know. This one didn't seem to warp too badly when I did it. And I'll show you in a second, I did like 4 of them. So this one I had pretty good luck with. But this is also a specialty paper, so it's also a little thicker. So that may be part of it as well. And as Robin said, yep, you can try heating it from the underside. And sometimes that either if it's warping, it'll kind of warp it the other way and flatten it out, or it may, you just may have an easier time heating it from the backside. So try that. Again, definitely it is thinner paper, so it does warp a lot easier, and it's just one of those things with designer series paper. I usually just stick lots of dimensionals on it, and then it's all good. So, all right. So as you will see, I stuck 2 of the dimensionals, kind of one right next to the other here, towards the center of this, right around the center of my knot in my linen thread that I've got in here. And then I took 2 more and stuck them to the outside edges. The reason that I did that and didn't just put one or stick them randomly in the center of this is because I wanted to make sure that I avoided the linen thread in the center and didn't want to end up with a weird bump in the middle of my sentiment. So if I stick them to the card front and then stick the other ones to the edges, then I know that I'm going to end up with dimensionals in the places that I want them to be. So looking and trying to get it on here straight. I think I did it, and yep, the ends on this are way too long, so I need to do a little trimming here. Trimming off the linen thread. Have you done a video on how these dies work? I think so. I think I have. So, but if not, I'm sure, yeah, I don't know, they're pretty straightforward, I think. I mean, these emboss, these 2 just emboss. These all die cut the sentiments. These die cut veins that you can lay over the top of the leaves. The ones that are long. Oh, I don't know if I've done a video actually on these, but actually I did a short one day. So there is one out there that I use this one on, but basically you just roll them through and it just embosses the piece of paper underneath it rather than cutting it. So, so hopefully that helps. All right. Oh, I almost forgot. Got busy yucking. So I've got some adhesive back speckled dots. And again, don't shoot me, but I do know these are currently on back order. They're showing as back in stock around November 13th, which is kind of a little ways away. So I did pull out a couple of alternatives that you can definitely use and pull out the copper in the paper with these embellishments. So these are the neutrals adhesive back sequins, and there are copper sequins in there, and they are a good size, and they're adhesive backed, so I do love those. So you definitely can use those instead of the little speckled dots if you don't have those. And then these are brushed metallic adhesive back dots, and they are also very, very pretty, and some of my favorite embellishments as well, because again, they're adhesive backed. So there's also a copper dot in here that would be perfect for this card front as well. So you can take your pick, whatever you have. If you have these, you can certainly use them. If you don't have these, then there are a couple of alternatives for you there as well. All right, I'm going to stick 2 of these on here. And I think these are considered crumb cake in color. I'm not even sure. So there we go. The lighter brown ones. So, and again, these are the adhesive back speckled dots that will be back hopefully sometime soon. All right. So we're almost done with the card. Just have the fun fold part to put together here. So as I said, I'd scored this at 5.5 and again at 6 3/4. So to make it be the fun fold part, I'm just going to grab a little bit. Normally I would use Stampin' Seal, but again, because I broke mine, we're going to use liquid glue on it. And I'm going to put it between the 2 score lines. So I've got my 5.5 inch score line here, 6 3/4 inch score line here. Adhesive goes in the middle of it. And then I'm just going to fold my card closed at the normal 5.5 inch point. Make sure that I'm lined up over here on the edges. And then do a quick crease at the bone folder to make sure I've got a good solid crease on it as well. And then we're going to give it a little extra second to hold it because it's liquid glue and not a tape adhesive. So it does take just a second. And then that creates the fun fold part of it. So it's kind of cool and really easy, which I love about that. So last thing on the inside of the card, You've got a piece of basic white cardstock. This is cut to about 4 by 4 inches. And then this is just a little piece of the designer series paper that I trimmed off. That's got the pumpkins. If you prefer to put the copper up, you can put the copper up as well. I love the pumpkins, so I'm sticking with those. And I'm just going to stick that across the bottom of this little piece of cardstock to decorate the inside of my card. Since really there isn't any stamping on this, I couldn't stamp an image in the corner because there's, it's sentiments in that stamp set and not any of the pumpkin images, or leaves. So, all right. And again, this is about a 1/2 inch by, 1/2 inch. This is probably 6 inches in total because I think I just trimmed it off one edge of it. So, I got that on there crazily crooked. There we go. That is the one bonus to the liquid adhesive is I can still wiggle it around. So, then I'm going to take my paper snips and trim off the excess over here. Oh, thanks, Carol. Glad you like it. Now comes the fun part of putting the liquid glue on it again. Again, normally, like I said, I usually use a Stampin' Seal, but not today. And I'm going to open up my card. Try not to end up with glue all over me. And then stick that here to the card base. Try to get it centered and straight as I'm sticking it down. And give it just a second to make sure that it's adhered, and that's it for the inside of the card. So super, super quick and easy. So this is the one I made ahead of time. This is the one I made here today. And then because it was so fast and easy, and I was, trying to decide which colors I was going to use, I'm glad you're liking it. I made a couple of extras that are a little different, a couple of variations of it. So this is Moody Mauve, which I will say is not a color that I would normally associate with fall and leaves, but when they brought it in with the designer series paper, I think it really works, and I love it with the copper and the kind of, the shiny on it. So this is the Moody Mauve version of it, and again, just got a little piece of the leaves. And then I also did it with the leaves, and this is probably my second favorite next to the wood grain piece of designer series paper, so all I have left is like little scraps of this. And for this one, for the layering underneath it, this one I used copper clay for my layering piece underneath the designer series paper. For this one, I actually used the same specialty paper, the oxidized copper specialty paper, as my layer underneath, so it adds just a little bit of extra shininess. And I almost switched it and didn't use it because I wasn't sure if it would work with this, but I'm really glad I did. I loved the way it turned out. After I got it all done, I'm like, yep, this one's probably, I don't know. Between this one and the pumpkins, these are my two favorites. So, and then on the inside, I just used a little bit of the leaf paper to decorate the inside. So that is it. Super quick and easy, and like I said, it's a book fold, fun fold card, which I almost never do these, so I was excited to show you something a little different. I hope that you like it, and definitely when this paper restocks next week, make sure that you go grab, in my opinion, at least 10 packs of it, because I'm sure that you're going to use it. So, all right. Thanks so much to everybody for joining today. I hope that you love seeing the little sneak peek at the Be Mine Valentine and Be Mine's collection. And like I said, I will definitely show off the online exclusives once those arrive a little bit later this week. And then don't forget, Saturday is our World Card Making Day event, our team event. Be on the lookout for links to that to start posting on Thursday afternoon, Friday, and again Saturday. We'll be posting it all over. So come join us. It's free. You'll just be hanging out, stamping with us all day. And so it'll be fun. That's it. Again, all the details for this card will be on my blog tomorrow. Let me know if you have any questions. Have a wonderful rest of your day. And hopefully we'll see you all on Saturday. Talk to y'all soon.